Welcome to Presswood Comics, and I'm Aaron. This is my brother Cody.
So,
And we will be reviewing Frank Miller and John Romita Jr.'s Superman Year 1, Issue 2.
book
It's a
2,
dec-
thank you very much. And it is
Okay.
a book for a comic.
Oh, yeah, it is a book. I say issue a lot. It's a DC Black label, which is supposed to be the supreme label. The Grey Poupon of comic books. If you're old, you'll get that joke. But,
It better be for $8.
oh, it's $8, but it is an actual book.
Yeah. And
It
there's
is a lot of pages.
It's also no ads.
And it's made out of nice material. The cover's nice and a little thicker than a regular comic.
Yeah.
There's variants.
It's got a cool back, too.
Oh, look at that back. I love that back.
As far as I saw, there was only
What does it say right there?
one variant. This is what dreams are made of. This is Atlantis.
I love the back, by the way. It looks great.
I like his suit.
Look at that light. Anyway, flip it back. And I like the cover. I like the black and red S, all right?
I do, too. I don't know why Frank Miller made the cover Adult Superman, though. This is not about Adult Superman.
It isn't. It's about young blood.
Yeah,
Young blood Superman.
The other cover is young Superman, but he's also in a different suit. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just he chose to black out the suit, but then highlight reds in it. It was weird.
Let's go ahead and let's dive in. It's a long comic.
Yep. It's
Okay.
like that. That's cool. That's actually him going
Show
underwater
the people.
on the right. You'll
Look at that.
see that later. Obviously, you know this is about Atlantis, and that's him going down in the water.
It's not only about Atlantis, it's about the Navy SEAL training.
Yeah. So, what was weird is Frank Miller didn't
Is that showing up clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just this page is tight because it's the first one.
Okay.
What's weird is that Frank Miller doesn't separate his narration from Superman's inner dialogue, so that was confusing.
I got that. It's not confusing to me because I've been reading a lot of Frank Miller. He does that a lot in his stuff. But I get it. As a newbie, you would think that.
Not a newbie, dude.
You're a newbie to Frank Miller, dude.
I've read his stuff.
You have read one thing. I have read multiple things. He does that.
I read
You read The Dark Knight Returns. What else have you read by Frank Miller?
what's that one called? Sin City.
Okay.
I've read Sin City.
What about 300?
No, I never read 300.
All right.
Or Watchmen.
Let's go. This is a long comic. Let's discuss it.
Did he do Watchmen?
No, that's Alan Moore.
That's what I
We got to stop this. He confused this. We have to do it over.
Anyway, so that's Clark going into boot camp. He's getting his head shaved, and she's like, "Man, it took me."
How can he get his head shaved?
Yeah, he changed it for this. He's like, "It took me 3 razors." He's like, "Whoops."
Yeah, he shouldn't be able to just get his head shaved.
No,
Period.
if his suit's invulnerable, almost,
It's not invulnerable, but it's very
it
hard.
takes extreme amount of damage
How he
before
used
it
to
cracks.
how he used to cut his hair and shave his beard. He's using a mirror and then his heat vision.
Yeah. Did they do that in
They did that in the comics before.
They did that in Lois and Clark too.
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was shaving and he's bouncing the laser beam off.
Yeah.
No. He's actually scratching his beard off with his fingernails in
Yeah.
Lois and Clark. I was like, that's kind of clever. He could do that.
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
That would be like a better. A razor's not going to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
so he actually scratches his scruff off, which
Yeah.
is neat. But he starts. There's no ads, like I said, so skipping pages.
Yeah, it is great. There is no ads in this.
So I mean,
It is more of a graphic novel.
that will factor into the grade as as in buying the comic too. But
Training.
not highly detailed art, but
I
Frank
like
Miller
it.
art.
I like the style.
It is him.
It's detailed enough.
I say Frank Miller, but there's also John.
He didn't. Did he draw this too?
I'm not sure. Does it say he
on.
illustrated it? No, there's actually different people.
Story and art by John Miller. They did both. Okay. John Romita Jr. did it also.
Yeah. Oh, and Frank did the variant cover.
Yeah. It's cool.
Story and art
This
by
is their baby.
Story and art was by both of them.
Yeah.
It's just him going through boot camp and
It's fun.
he's talking to himself. Don't do it. Don't over push it. Don't show off.
Yeah.
Gun doesn't even recoil in his hand, so he
Of course
hits
not.
the bullseye with all 20 bullets, and they're like, "Hey, Maggie, he could be the perfect ski."
Let's skip ahead a little.
And then you have, that's a lot ahead.
You
Just
have
more
to-
stuff. Just more boot camp stuff.
Moral Navy SEAL training.
Yeah.
What time period did this take place
He's
in?
not being trained to be Navy SEAL yet. He is in regular boot camp. They come to him later to ask him if he wants to be in the Navy SEALs. And I don't know what time period this is in. Now that I think about it, I didn't really see much tech.
Drone. They talk about drones in later. And if this is Superman before the Dark Knight Returns Superman, that doesn't make any sense. Because that's in the 80s.
It might not be then.
He
might have just kept the suit.
Where the hell this is.
He might have just kept the suit design.
Whatever. The suit design's not even the same. Anyway, go on.
It's his story. Yeah, but then he's like looking out to sea and he starts seeing mermaids. But then you also notice that his sergeant also sees mermaids and he's like, oh yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? Most men don't come back. They do try to go out there, and don't tell that I see mermaids out there. All right, kid, good.
Good.
Superman goes to a bar.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah, Superman goes to a bar. Well, he's not Superman. Clark goes to a bar.
He doesn't really start a fight. Of course, some bully tries to start a fight with him.
Because he's talking to it. Because he's being mean to this lady right here.
This is his lady friend.
And he just blocks the punch, and I think he breaks the guy's arm just blocking the punch. I don't know. Yeah. But then Superman's like, you know what?
I'm gonna go see some mermaids.
I'm gonna go see some mermaids. And
I'm gonna go get some mermaid puss.
Yeah, and he, I like how he talks about his past a lot with like being on the farm. So he's like, I used to skip rocks and I used to skip like big tires. My dad said that was a big no-no. So
because he took him off the tractor.
Yeah, and he's like, funny. So I just started skipping myself. And then he's flying underwater and he's like, you don't need to breathe. Let the air out.
But also, you gotta realize that half of this story seems more like an Aquaman story.
It does.
Than a Superman story.
I wonder if he's setting up an Aquaman story.
I don't know.
You'll see the further we go in that it could be setting
even
that up.
the training could be an Aquaman story.
Yeah, but he meets...
But after the first half, it becomes more of a Superman.
Yeah, he's diving, meets a mermaid, and he's like, oh, hey, and they're like, ha, 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 come chase us, you stupid man. And then he's like, and then there's a big...
I'm gonna fall in love.
There's a big old crash.
Oh, this is great. Show all this.
And then you see Atlantis.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Boom.
So a submarine...
Now say what he says.
Crashed in the middle of Atlantis. What he says?
Yeah. Can you read that?
Some kind of high-end, high-tech experimental surveillance sub.
See, what time period is that anyway?
Well, every time period had something that was high-tech.
I guess.
And surveillance.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Atlantis looks different from most comics. Because sometimes Atlantis will be
it's very basic, I think.
Atlantis will be like Wakanda.
Yeah.
Where it's
super tech.
Yeah.
This is more This is more low tech.
And you'll see why too, because you'll see who is the current king of Atlantis.
Yeah.
But he's
Let's move ahead some more.
But I'll kind of show for a second. He's like, I need to help these people. I can't just stand by. You know, he's like, gotta help. And the girl's like, ooh, you my Superman. I love you. And then he's like, okay, gotta get back to military training. So he flies back up. Then he's like, don't show off.
And then he basically, when he's in his little fighting stance, he can just take them on no problem. He could destroy them with a fingernail.
Yeah. And so he's
got to act like, oh, maybe I should make this guy feel good about himself.
Yeah, the whole time he's like,
yeah, that's totally Superman.
Let's. I still got to hold back. I am enjoying this. And then you have where something right off the coast. They're like, well, by the way, like Clark is starting to excel so well that they're like, you're going to start the Navy SEALs training, and so he becomes a recruit for the Navy SEALs. But then there's like ships that like these pirates boarded, and so their team, their non-Navy SEAL team goes there. They enter a room, they start killing people, and then Clark puts a gun to a guy's head, and he's like,
and then let me say this, and then the Navy SEALs wanting him to kill someone, he's not going to do it because he's Superman. So he's over there in not even a half a second, and then that terrorist is going to like blow up a grenade, and then he just grabs it, blows up, and then the guy Navy SEAL next to him is like, you got to tell me like what's happening? How did you do that? He's like, it was a dud. That thing exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to make the pirate watch it to realize this is the death you wanted.
That's not smart.
He's like, is this
That's not good secret identity stuff.
Yeah, they make him real dumb about it.
Yeah, but he is young.
Yeah.
He is young. He's an experienced.
He is making excuses though, so I'll give him that, I guess.
Let's go ahead and skip ahead.
There's a whole pirate scene. More. So based on time, we're going to skip ahead. Anyway, they're like, I can't believe you did that on the ship. You're fired. Get out of here. Honorable discharge. The sergeant's like, you be a good kid, Clark. You be something better.
And then he just runs into the ocean, skips away.
Yeah. But the sergeant gives him a good speech. He's like, you can be more. You can save people. You can be better.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
And it was like an updated talk from his dad, basically.
Okay,
And then he's like, well, I'm just going to go to Atlantis. And she's like, you should meet my father. Put on your best suit. And he's like, okay.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'll stop right there. I like this suit. Go.
Yeah,
that's go up. That's very much like cartoon early Superman look.
Yep.
I like it.
That's his best suit.
I like it.
And so he is going to meet the king. And the king of Atlantis, well, first he's going to fight the Century.
Poseidon.
Yeah, he's going to fight the Century. He's like, you're nothing to me.
And his girlfriend, what's his girlfriend's name?
I'm going to walk on through. I don't remember.
Lori?
Maybe.
Or Lori. It's some with an L.
Yeah.
But she's like a sweetheart, and she's so loving and kind.
Yeah.
And then her father is this ancestral, like, piece of crap.
Yeah.
Who's a total megalomaniac narcissist.
And he is, indeed, Poseidon.
Yeah.
So, where does Aquaman come into this world? Because Aquaman's...
I don't know.
He's going to have to be related to Poseidon for the bloodline.
He's not born yet? I don't know.
Or, based on the ending, it's kind of up to Superman, but we won't spoil that.
Yeah.
That Aquaman's lineage comes in.
Yeah, but
Poseidon's like, you're mine, I'm going to kill this boy, I want to,
show one more thing, and then we're going to have to cut it short.
I want to hunt my
because
daughter.
we don't want to give too much away, because a lot of this has to do with a lot of cool stuff.
And then he, he calls on certain friends of his
where's
to handle
the,
Superman. And then you have a really good one-shot. Do you want to show that?
That, right there.
And then he says, release
the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Boom, that's great.
And that's not the one he was fighting earlier. That's Mama Bear.
That's cool. No, let's go ahead and throw this again. Boom. Okay.
But, yeah, Superman being Superman, not really affected by anything. He wins the day, wins the heart, and then he's kind of left with an option that you're actually just going to have to go to book 3 to see where the option leads. Oh, but I will show you this. Hold on. There is a sneak peek of the next issue.
Oh, okay.
And by sneak peek, I mean it's just the cover of the next issue. Next issue, and he's holding up the Daily Planet Globe. Yep. So, for time restraint, this was a long book. That's why it was... A lot of it was the same with military training.
So what are you going to give it?
We didn't skip much. I'm going to let you grade it first.
I give it a solid B.
And why's that?
The art was fun. It was a style that I knew from Frank Miller. The writing was pretty good. It was more old school because of Frank Miller. The dialogue was good. The narration I liked because it made it more like a novel. And I just liked the character. It was pretty much still Superman. They didn't differentiate that much. Yeah. So go on.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your B, and close your eyes, I'll tell you to open them. Aaron has closed his eyes, and I'm going to give you this. Now you can open them. A solid C.
Okay.
So the art...
I was going to be surprised if it was less.
The art, I did like. It was unique. It's Frank Miller. Do you realize that? Good stuff. Story, it was boring to me.
Why was it boring?
It's just like with young Bruce... Young Clark. I don't care. I care about Batman. I care about Superman.
I like all that stuff.
Where they came from.
As long as they have them as the main focus.
I didn't like Smallville. Stuff. Didn't care about Smallville. That was stupid. The army stuff was too long, boring. I did appreciate, I did appreciate the story and the character building. I know that was good. I'm not blinded by that, but it was still boring to me.
Yeah.
I want Superman. Mm-hmm. There was no action because Superman...
There was some action.
Well, Superman was a god in this.
He's super strong.
There was no struggle. That's what I'm saying.
There was struggle.
Not
mental
physically,
struggle.
But,
there can be,
I mean, would I buy the next issue? Maybe. But you're buying the next issue, so if you want to keep this going. But, so about a C+ would be a round out. It's $8. I think it's worth a buy because it's a bit of a collector's item to me, at least. I do like the art, the cover on the front and the back. I like that it feels like $8. There was no ads. The black label's cool. It's definitely a collector's item. I do like that. So I would say if you're into it, buy it. But this is where we end. Because in brightest day and blackest night, like, comment, and subscribe with all your might. And hit the notification bell.
Right. Peace. Thank you so much.